We're starting. Hi, this is Simon from Biffy Clyro.
This is Ben from Biffy Clyro.
Hello, I'm James from Biffy Clyro.
I think it's important to us, the opening tracks and all our records, I guess, are kind of quite out there, you know, which is why, you know, Infinity Land, we had, you know, kind of dance beats, and Puzzle was a big, long, really annoying stab intro, I guess, for everyone, and, you know, Vertigo was really full on, kind of aggressive, and, you know, and I think it's something that the captain just kind of sung to us when we heard it, didn't it? It just demanded to be the opening track.
Well, it's probably Biffy, or us, I won't talk in the third person, at our most triumphant. It's really, it started out as a real kind of stoner rock guitar riff, but we thought it'd be a bit interesting to have the horns and all the brass on there, and it really gives it an interesting flavour.
It sounds like we're marching to a war or something like
that.
Yeah. Maybe marching home.
Marching home, victorious after a hard-fought battle. And
that's my mobile.
That's the captain on the phone, so
yeah, it's just to see how we're getting on. Track 2 on this Miss Motherfucker. Beats on this. The same with the opening track of a record. I think your first single is very important to give what kind of angle the record's going in, and on this whole album we really kind of put in as much, you know, went as over the top as we could, and, you know, just tried to really exaggerate things, and I think that Golden Rule is a good representation of the records. You know, got a big fat riff, and
it starts off with like a punch in the face, a vocal onslaught, because you wouldn't think you'd be able to fit that many lyrics in. And the vocals in a fast riffage. It's good to embrace the riff.
Oh yeah.
Which we do in this song, and we also put some strings in for this to give it more drama, which it did. And the strings were arranged by a lovely man called David Campbell.
Wonderful arranger.
Wonderful arranger, the man.
I can't remember when we wrote that, but again, you know, all these songs kind of came together after we finished Puzzle. I think it's important to us that, you know, each time we make a record, we clear the decks and kind of start again, and that way you get a good representation of where we are, you know, for each album. You know, as people, quite unusual for us because it just sits on a groove for a long time, you know, and then, you know, normally we're shifting and changing the songs as, you know, as kind of swift as possible, but this one, it's just, you know, one note in the bass, and it's quite suggestive with the way the melody moves, and yeah, it's good, big high singing part in it. We had a bit of a nightmare trying to sing the chorus. It's so high, so you know, that was a laugh.
And we were lucky enough to get Mr. Josh Long.
Josh Long, yeah, plays some wigged out cosmic space rock at the end, and it just suits the song perfectly.
Okay, wichtige Informationen aus dem Haus Biffy Clyro. Der Name des neuen Albums
If I had a favourite, I'd have to say this is probably one of my favourite tracks in the album.
Bullshit!
I guess it started out just guitar and vocals, and that's what we tried to keep with this song as a driving force. We tried different things with percussion to build it up and different instrumentation, but this is one that really stands alone, really nice with just the vocals and the guitar. So it's nice to have that space again after Bubbles. It's nice just to keep things down on the down low for a little while.
It's sometimes it's tricky with like a song like God and Satan when it works so well just in its skeleton form, you know, to try and to figure out, you know, what way to go with it really, you know, because it could stand alone. We were toying with the idea of just having nothing apart from guitar and vocals, and, you know, just as we kind of worked on it in the studio, it just kind of fell in together, you know, and every time we added something new, it kind of suggested something else, and you know, so I think it worked out.
It's probably the kind of funkiest song we've ever done,
Definitely.
As the Biff,
Yeah, grooviest.
Grooviest,
We're not
definitely.
normally the anti-groove, but I think over the last few years we've discovered our love of the groove.
Yeah.
And, you know, like all Biffy songs, it kind of starts out on an acoustic guitar, which, you know, seems a bit ridiculous for a song like this, but, you know, it's songs can just be suggested, you know, that you don't necessarily have to write a bit of music for the organ on an organ, you know, you can, things can transfer and sometimes sound better in different instruments, and that's what happened.
This one, absolutely, and there's a lot of stuff on there, a lot of funny percussion, we've got wood block and fibre slap. We've also got theremin in there.
That's right,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a bit of theremin in the second verse, I believe. And then it just opens up and turns into the widest thing in the world in classic Biffy fashion, and then goes right back down to small as a mouse after big as a house, and then it finishes.
Yeah, it's just one of those like simple idea, you know, there's not a lot of just one main movement in the song, and you know, sometimes that's equally satisfying as a song that kind of chops and changes. So.
Guten Abend.
Guten Abend.
Wir sind Biffy Clyro. Wir kommen aus Schottland. And this song's called Mountains. Took a bite out of a mountain range. Thought my teeth would break, the mountain did. Let's go, wanna go all the way to the horizon. Took a drink out of the ocean and treading water there before we drown.
This is a song that we released as a single last year, and it just really, one of the first songs we had written for the album, I guess.
We hummed and hawed about putting it on the record, and because it's from the same time period, and you know, we thought it was really important that it was in the record, and you know, we had the fear of it, you know, if it wasn't in the album, then suddenly, you know, in 5 years' time, you know, people can't get a hold of it or something, you know, and it just felt like it would be a lost song, I guess. So we've made that mistake before in other records, like in our very first album, there's a song called Hope for an Angel, which we really wish we'd put on the record, you know, and you know, unfortunately it means we have to limit how often we can play it, you know, even if it's a song we love, and we didn't want that to happen with Mountains. So.
I think it's, you know, again another triumphant moment for us, and one where we feel really united when we're playing this song together, I guess, because of the lyric and everything. And
it's almost like a bit of a feel-good song, I guess, which is not something that we normally do.
yeah,
But it kind of makes you feel like you can.
it's got a really interesting kind of time signature in the verses, which we all thought would throw people off, but for some reason everyone seems to just be able to dance along to it.
15, 16's classy, ain't it?
Well, you scratch till your face comes away, replaced by a hole, a vortex just waiting to play.
Chop Shop, which is kind of like a blizzard of guitars, I guess, and you know, it really kind of almost krautrock rhythm from Ben and Jim. And you know, hopefully it's just a beautiful big song, and it's a, you know, lyrically it's about, you know, I guess falling out with loved ones, and you know, trying to get your point heard, and you know, it's got a big, again, a bit of a spacey outro. We're almost cosmonaut-like.
Theremin again.
Yeah, it's really kind of dense and claustrophobic in the verses, and then it opens up, and then it gets even bigger again at the end. Yeah. The term we use is space rock in Syria. That's definitely what it feels like. It feels like we're on the moon when we're playing that song.
And the last chord of the song, the very last chord, is this is one of my favourite things to do. is every fret of the guitar played at exactly the same time and just built up and tracked over, and it gives this really kind of bizarre kind of feel. It just doesn't
Scary.
connect. It's really scary.
You say I love you, boy.
It's probably one of the more gentler moments, and kind of, you know, it's again a very personal song. You know, the whole record's kind of a bit about, you know, my relationship with my wife and family, and I guess, you know, and this song kind of, you know, epitomises that, I guess, more than any other. But it's, you know, we knew from the very first time we played it in this room, I think, that it just clicked from the very first time, which some songs, you know, it takes a bit of work, some songs you have to kind of play around with, but, you know, I guess from the very first time we played that, it was, you know, it just felt amazing, and, you know, we were worried about it being a bit obvious to put strings on it, because obviously when you get a big, huge, you know, kind of over-the-top song like that, and a song that huge, that it, you know, in our minds, that, you know, strings may be a bit obvious, but, you know, because we trusted David Campbell, and we knew it wouldn't be anything too schmaltzy, you know, it should really be an integral part, and it really just gives it, you know, hopefully a weight to it that it wouldn't otherwise have had. Boom Blasted Ruin was the last song for the record, and it was, we had a few others that came in a batch of about 4 or 5, and you know, just that like stuck out for us, and you know, we basically spent the last 2 years, you know, like trying to pick our favourites, you know, and sometimes the songs that, sometimes, you know, it's a better song immediately, you know, if it's going to be in a record, and that just said to us, Boom Blasted Ruin just said it had to be on the album, and it sits on there proudly and strongly.
Boom was like quite an up-tempo track. It was, we wanted to get back into rock territory again, and it's just really it's really kind of vital and full of energy. I think that's going to be a fun one to play live, and with a lot of fun recording this one. It was one that kind of came together, you know, was felt right from the start, I guess. You know?
It's important that the record really ebbs and flows. You know, it should be, you know, take your mind in different places. You know, and it is important to, you know, that the track listings are, you know, makes you feel good when you listen to it. So yeah, Boom is, you know, probably one of the faster songs on the record. Also quite an upbeat number because it's quite a straightforward, you know, kind of pop rock song almost, I guess. You know, it was, you know, we tried a few different things, and sometimes it's just best in its original form. You know, just with three of us kind of rocking out like we do.
Track 10 is Cloud of Stink, which is also up tempo but a very different flavour. Been blasting around.
It's like 70s stoner rock or something. 70s math stoner rock.
It was
played by Don Johnson.
one of the first ones that was mixed, as it was maybe going to be a single, but lost the fight with Golden Rule. But very close second place it was for the first single. It's really kind of relentless in its delivery. Again, a bit of riffage in there, which is good. Using the riff again.
Killer riffs.
And a lovely kind of falsetto vocal over the verses, singing some quite dark and dirty things.
I think yeah, it always appeals to us, you know, like because it's a, you know, it's kind of almost like a Helmet style riff. You know, it's, you know, we love to do things a bit different. So the vocal's almost a kind of like disco vocal, you know, over a kind of, you know, really low down riff.
It's quite awkward for you to map it out, but when you're playing it, it just feels so natural, and it's really can't wait to play that one to people. And
we actually played when we in the middle of the break of the record. You know, that was the first song other than the Mountains that we actually played live on.
Yeah,
in Germany. It's a weird one because it gets us going so hard that, you know, sometimes you can't contain yourself when you're playing it. So it's a lot of fun, and it's, you know, it's total Biffy.
Beautiful song. I actually used harpsichord in this one, which just really fits nice with the kind of the soft moments in the verse, and really kind of complements the vocal. Quite I guess a personal song, again. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's a love song, you know, and yeah, just it was a song again we've been playing for a wee while, and we didn't quite know exactly what direction it was going in, and then, you know, fortunately we could spend enough time in the studio to kind of brainstorm, and, you know, we came up with the harpsichord, didn't we? And then we got some strings in the outro. But David Campbell is pizzicato. We get real goosebumps in.
I remember the first time we went to his house to listen to that. It was just like, you know, when somebody else hears something in a song that maybe you didn't hear yourself. That's why it's nice to have people that are so good at what they do and really enjoy what we're doing. And I guess having that connection is really, sometimes you can get some magic that comes out of it.
The cheeses are graph, no handshake or pound the ass. The saving grace was talking fast. I don't wanna be born again.
Like 12.
It's the end of the album.
The end of the record. It's a quick record, isn't it?
Yeah.
What his horses and that's absolutely built around the bass and the drums, and it's one of, you know, a bit like Mountains. It's one of those deceptive rhythms that it was really tough to get together one day, because it's split in a really funny way, threes and sevens, and again, just rather than a, you know, typical kind of the way we think, I guess, rather than have it just straightforward, you know, it was important that it was constantly shifting underneath the music, because the melody was you know, just very simple chords, and, you know, almost Weezer-like melody, I guess, and you know, we just wanted to really, you know, attack, I guess.
Little did we know that Ben would end up having to play marimba
I know.
along to that type signature, which was really tough. That was really tough, but it sounds really nice. It gives it a really interesting sound. You know, we're definitely a guitar rock band, and guitar, bass, and drums is always going to be where we start off with. But it's nice to have other parts that they can have add a different texture.
Yeah, absolutely. It almost sounds like a weird kind of Disney. It sounds like a Fair Bear Disney or something.
Yeah, it's awesome. But again, a kind of really strong and unifying lyric, I guess, and it kind of feels a really great way to end the album.
Yeah, a bit of a statement from us as a band, I guess. And that's the end of your record. Toodle off and listen to it.
Yeah.